a man about things isn't not feeling things. It's feeling things and still acting like a man. Let me tell you something. Depression is not real. Feeling depressed is real. So you can feel depressed, but you feel depressed, and that is a natural biological evolutionary trigger for you to change something in your life. That's your own mind telling you you're unhappy about X. If I went to jail today, I'd be depressed because I'm in jail. Right. I haven't caught depression. I don't have a disease. I'm just upset with my situation. Yep. I have people mess with me all the time. I'm fat and I can't get a girlfriend because I'm depressed. I'm like, no, pancake lover. You're depressed because you're fat and you can't get a girlfriend. Do you understand? This is the point, right? So for a lot of people, your life is depressing. A lot of you out there, if you're sitting there and you say you suffer from depression, you probably live a depressing life. You probably live a depressing life. So if I was you, I'd be depressed. But if you were me, you'd be happy. Do you know what could solve depression for most poor people? $1 million in the bank. Yes. Boom. So how is it a disease? So when I say this to people, most of them agree and they go, okay, but if that's true, why do famous people kill themselves? The reason is twofold. This absolute acceptance of depression and acceptance of weakness. When you accept anything, to a degree, you're promoting it. Weakness is promoted now in men, right? Yeah. So let's take Robin Williams as an example. Robin Williams killed himself.
I was just going to say him. Yeah.
Robin Williams, right? Famous, multi-millionaire, everyone loves him. How could he possibly kill himself? I'll tell you why. Because when he walked into the therapist's office and said, I feel depressed, the therapist said, okay, here's some mind-altering drugs. Start taking these. And then I need to see you 6 hours a day, every day, and we're going to talk about sad things for the next 10 years. He was in therapy for 10 years.
Oh, God.
If I had to take mind-altering drugs and talk about sad shit for 6 hours a day for 10 years, I'd kill myself. But if he would have walked into the therapist's office and the therapist said to him, you're Robin Williams. There are people in the world with no food. Yeah. There are families in Syria.
I say this
there
every
are
time.
School buses being bombed in Yemen. There are people who lost their entire family in a car crash today. You're Robin Williams and everyone you love is in perfect health. You're a selfish idiot. Get out of my office. Get some balls. Bam. He'd still be alive today. The cure made it worse. And this whole society of accepting depression, as soon as someone's depressed, instantly go to them, oh, poor you. It's okay. We know you can't help it. You can't help it. Why are you telling people they can't help it? Why are you reinforcing that mindset in people? If you come to me and say you're depressed, I say, I will fix you. And you know what's crazy? When I said this depression thing wasn't real, do you know how many people stuck up for depression? You don't understand. I'm depressed. Depression's real. I was like, if it's so horrible, why are you defending it? You sound like it's PR team. Why, I thought it was ruining your life, but you are desperate for me to believe in it. You want me to believe in it. You're sticking up for it. You're defending depression, trying to convince me it's real because it's your cure-all excuse for failure. When you're depressed, you can fail in every human metric. I fail at everything, but I'm depressed. It's not my fault. No, you're a failure. That's all you are, because you're not trying very hard. If you live in a house, I say this all the time. This is the reason I don't believe in depression. Because I don't believe in depression, I cannot become depressed. Bam. No matter what the worst thing that could possibly happen to me on earth, I will feel sad, but I will recover and I will not become depressed because I don't believe in depression. If you're in an old haunted house, right? You have two people in two haunted houses. One believes in ghosts and one doesn't. You hear some noise in the night. The wind blows, right? The man who believes in ghosts is like, oh no, a ghost. Now he's scared, right? He wants an exorcist. He can't sleep. He's scared about ghosts. He's paranoid. The guy who doesn't believe in ghosts goes wind, whatever, and goes back to sleep. Do you understand that it's the belief that gives it power? Right. If you don't believe in ghosts, the ghosts can't hurt you. If you don't believe in depression, you can't become depressed. And I refuse to believe in something that's going to weaken me.
When you work for others, you are at their mercy. They own your work. They own you. Your creative spirit is squashed. What keeps you in such positions is a fear of having to sink or swim on your own. Instead, you should have a greater fear of what will happen to you if you remain dependent on others for power. Your goal in every maneuver in life must be ownership. Work in the corner for yourself. When it's yours to lose. You're more motivated, more creative, more alive. The ultimate power in life is to be completely self-reliant, completely yourself.
The most expensive thing we spend is time. Because we can't get it back. Before I had money, when I'm poor, when I'm in the middle, when I'm rich, regardless, I've been on each one of those portions of the journey. Right. I had fun. When we didn't have no money, it was fun.
It shifted. It's either when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive and you start to approach the problem instead of run from it.
You know, my grandfather told me, you don't get as far as the motherfucker you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as the motherfucker that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the kind of information can he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation?
When losing's not an option, then you got to do everything possible to win. And I don't understand how they become complacent and feel like, oh, it's okay. You know, you get people that deal with things by not actually dealing with them.
They don't care about me. Is it okay for me not to care about people that don't care about me? It would be entertaining for them to see me in crisis. Why would you care about a person who would like to see you under the worst circumstances you could be in?
I had to convince myself that I'm gonna make it, you know, regardless of how people felt at that time. And what it does is it makes you feel like, or it made me feel like, there's gonna be points that people are gonna mistake my confidence for arrogance. They don't understand the process I've been through and how much I had to believe in myself in order to make these things happen.
I never ran from anything because I didn't have nobody to go to. I've always had that, where I'm going. Home to get me? Ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? I've always been in a situation where I'm forced to deal with it myself.
Find something to fall in love with, something to be passionate about, right? And then because you enjoy it so much, you'll be able to do it so much that you become so good that everybody's gonna love and appreciate you.
I think depression is a luxury because where I'm from, you can't afford to be depressed. You got to pay the bill, right? So you got to go to work. You got to get up. You got to go do what you got to do. They got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there, but they got responsibilities, so they feel uncomfortable while they're working, while they're doing what they got to do.
I grew older. The one thing that becomes clearer to me each and every day is that I don't owe anyone a thing, and neither do you. I've seen a lot of people pollute their potential after sipping from the well of entitlement. This is certainly true of many of the people I've been associated with over the years, even my own son. What they need to understand is that you should never feel like the world owes you anything. It doesn't. You must accept that it's all on you. That might seem like a very cynical way to view the world, but I would argue that it's actually liberating. You can only feel betrayal when you feel like you're owed something from someone. You can only feel resentment when you had expectations for assistance. When you accept that it's all on you, only then can you finally be free to focus 100% on being the best version of yourself.
Either I'm going to get rich or I'm going to die in the process. I'm going to do what I want to do. And then if I die in the process, I was doing what I wanted to do. Get rich or die trying.
We're all put here for a fucking reason. And you can understand that the only thing noble about victimhood is overcoming it. The only thing noble about your life is going to be what you show people is actually possible. This is what winning is about. If there's a fucking barrier that needs to be broken through, we're gonna fucking break through it. And at the end of the day, the world needs winners because winners show the rest of the people what could be. And I wanna leave you with this thought because it's important. You either are or you fucking aren't. You either will or you fucking won't. You're either going to become or you're not going to become. And it's not because of the outside circumstances, it's because of the inside circumstances. You can tell yourself all the shit, all the reasons why you're not. None of it's true. And just know that. Just know that every fucking excuse that you've made for your fucking life is bullshit. The world will never be fair. The world will never, ever be fucking fair. Someone will always have an easier path than you. Someone will always have a more difficult path than you. Regardless of how difficult you think your path is, there's lots of people out there who have had that same path and actually won huge with that path. You're just choosing not to. The popularity of victimhood has never been like this in my entire life. It's like people are in competition for who the fuck the biggest victim is, which is a competition for who the biggest fucking loser's gonna be. You motherfuckers don't know nothing about being a victim. You just haven't fucking tried. And you don't understand what it's gonna take. My first 10 years in business, I made $58,000 total. I made $695 a month. The first 3 years, I made $0. 3 years. Okay. The next 7 years, I made $695 a month for a total of about $58,000 my first 10 years in business. All right. I've struggled. I know what the fucking struggle is. I've been stabbed in the fucking face. But the first thing that you have to do for you to get on the track that you want to do is to become self-reliant. That means you have to not only understand your own problems, you have to attack your problems, and you have to address your problems and solve them mostly on your own. You have to change how you see yourself before your situation changes, okay? I have no doubts that most of you want to overcome these struggles. I have a lot of doubts whether or not most of you will overcome these struggles, because society has geared itself now to perpetuate the victim mentality so hard that it's almost impossible to escape it, because everywhere we look, we have people telling us, oh, it's okay. Oh, take a break. Oh, you're too hard on yourself. Oh, you need to see a therapist. Oh, you need to heal. Oh, motherfucker, you know what you need to do? You need to get your fucking shit together and do the motherfucking work and stop complaining and dumping all your bullshit on everybody else. Your life ain't that motherfucking hard. It ain't any fucking harder than anybody else's life, and you just want to pretend it is so motherfuckers will give you sympathy. That's the fucking truth. Okay? And if you can accept that truth and say, yeah, I'm being a bitch, I need to clean up my shit, now you can start making progress. You know what the real fucking problem in the world is, dude? The real problem that all of you suffer from that are listening right now, the real problem is you don't have any real fucking problems. That's the problem. You don't have any real hard problems. Most of you listening live in America. Most of you are watching this on a fucking $2,000 computer or a $1,000 iPhone or a fucking $1,000 flat screen TV. You're telling me you got real motherfucking problems? Bullshit. You have all the opportunity in the fucking world and you don't have enough real problems, and you're finding shit to complain about because everybody else is complaining. And anybody who says this shit about, oh, just be happy with what you got and be happy where you are. Yeah, there's truth to that because it can soothe you, right? It can make you feel okay with where you are. But the truth of the matter is we've got to own our own shit and we've got to handle our own shit so that we can produce what the fuck we're capable of producing. Because when we start to produce what we're capable of producing, and I'm not just talking about business, I'm talking about life, we show people who are close to us what it looks like to overcome. We show people who are close to us what it looks like to utilize and play the cards we're dealt